Full name is Rufus, okay, and in short he is known as Roof. He is the well-known person and is most wanted person in Umofia. Roof says to Marcus eBay that the people are thinking of some change, that they want to change their candidate in the next upcoming election. They just reject taking 2 shillings because Marcus eBay is filthy rich now. Giving 2 shillings is shameful from his part. They were not ready to take. Hello everyone, I am Babita Tamaya, lecturer, Department of English, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. In my last revision class, I had revised the chapter Japan and Brazil through a traveler's eye. In today's session, I'll be revising the chapter The Author, Chinua Achebe. Today's agenda will be like synopsis, weightage of the prose, question and answers. The Author is a very short story by Chinua Achebe, the African novelist, poet and critic. This short story describes the advantages and disadvantages of democracy in the newly independent African state of Nigeria. Roof was a popular figure in his village, Umofia. So Roof's full name is Rufus, okay, and in short he is known as Roof. He is the well-known person and is most wanted person in Umofia. And he is a popular figure in Umofia also. His full name is Rufus, okay. When the other youngsters had gone to the city in order to earn money, he had remained in the village to guide the innocent locals. So, he was working as a bicycle repairer apprentice, but after that, he came back to his village to help the other people. Marcus of the same village had joined the People's Alliance party. So here, there was an election in the Umofia village and Marcus eBay, he was the contestant. And his party is People's Alliance Party, or in short, it is known as PAP party. They might ask this question for 1 mark. Expand PAP. It is People's Alliance Party. Who is the contestant? That is Marcus eBay. Had won an election. So Marcus eBay had won an election. After 5 years, again he is contesting for the election. For the next upcoming election, he is the candidate. Become the Minister of Culture was called the Chief Honorable Marcus eBay. He was called as the Chief Honorable Marcus eBay. For Marcus eBay, the Roof was the campaigner for Marcus eBay because Roof is well known for campaigning. He has done campaigning for local, national and village level. So, he tells Marcus eBay that the people are thinking to change the candidate this time. He Roof warned Marcus that the people are becoming aware of how he got his degrees and doctorates. Some native villagers were still of the opinion that a doctorate means a doctor and their minister will be able to treat them during their diseases. So, Roof says to Marcus eBay that the people are thinking of some change, that they want to change their candidate in the next upcoming election because they have become aware of the degrees. Degrees in the sense here, Marcus eBay has got his PhDs, so whatever they want for themselves, they will do it, but nothing for the people in the Umofia village. He has got his doctorates and the people are not so well educated. They thought that the doctorates are the doctors who treat them during the diseases. They might give them the treatment during any time of diseases. That kind or that sort of people were the people of Umofia. They did not know the difference between the doctorates and the doctor. So before Marcus eBay entering into politics, what was he? Marcus eBay was a missionary school teacher in Umofia. He had joined the People's Alliance Party to avoid dismissal arising out of a complaint by a female teacher. After becoming a minister, he had assembled a lot of wealth, including 2 big cars and a bungalow. So before entering into politics, he was a school teacher. But a complaint was lodged against Marcus eBay by one of the teacher. Then later he joined the politics. After entering into politics, he had become too very famous and he had 2 big cars and a bungalow. When the people of Umofia did not have the electricity or the water supply, he did not help them. But when he built a big mansion called as Umofia Mansion, and when there was no electricity supply, he installed a private plant and got the supply for his house. But when the people were suffering, he didn't even turn and see them. It is a different matter that he had a private power plant for his exclusive use. His new house was named as Umofia Mansion. He built a big house and named it as Umofia Mansion to honor Umofia. And for the opening of the house, that is the housewarming ceremony, he had arranged a lavish dinner party for the villagers with 5 bulls and many goats. He gave the village people of Umofia a delicious food during the time of his housewarming ceremony, that is the Umofia Mansion. So once the people ate the delicious food, they started praising Marcus eBay. Before that, they were thinking of a change, but later everything was turned out. Marcus, sensing their feelings, had withdrawn his 5-month salary. So after giving them the delicious food, morning he used to give speeches. At night it is Roof who was doing the campaign. So what does Marcus do here? He has drawn his salary in advance, that is a 5-month salary in advance, converted into shillings. Shillings is the currency of Umofia, for distributing to the villagers, mostly carried out during nights. So he got his 5-month salary in advance, changed into shillings, and it was given to Roof. So what happens, this amount, whatever the shillings was given to Roof, it was carried during night. Roof was the agent managing this, and he had to shell out more than 2 shillings each he had initially offered to the village elders. So there were 5 elderly villagers. So what does Roof does in a sense? He just put them in one room, that is a dark room with a lighted lantern, and give them the 2 shillings for the 5 elderly members. When they open it, when the elderly members, one of the elderly members opened the bag, he found that only 2 shillings. And they wanted to confirm it, take near the lighted lantern and see to check whether it is 2 or more. Finally, they come to a conclusion that Marcus had given them only 2 shillings. They just reject taking 2 shillings because Marcus eBay is filthy rich now. Giving 2 shillings is shameful from his part. They were not ready to take. And later, what Roof does in the sense, again he gives 2 more shillings to the 5 elderly members. He just throws on the floor, but none of the elders were ready to take it up because it is their self-respect. And they never ask for the money today, before or tomorrow. He himself is bribing the people with the shilling, and it is too very shameful on his part. At last, Roof gets angry and he says, if you want, you take this money, or else you can go and cast your vote for the other party, that is the enemy party. Now let's say which is the other party here. The opposition party, named the Progressive Organization Party, known as POP, had also started its campaign. Their local campaigning team leader visited Roof the night prior to the election and offered him a bribe of £5 for voting the POP candidate Maduka. So here, PAP party's candidate is Marcus eBay, POP is Maduka. So the opposition party campaigner, like Roof, there was the other campaigner for the opposition party, that was M. Banta, and he is one of the very closest friend of Roof. One day before the election, Mabanta comes and meets Roof, and he places £5 as a bribe to cast his vote for the opposition party person, that is Maduka. So what does Roof do? Do he takes? What does Roof do? Will he take the amount? He just goes near the door, come back and ask Mbanta, will the other people in the village get to know about this? So Mabata says, I have not come for gossiping, I have come only for the business purpose. Roof takes the 5 pounds and he promises on the god, that is I, saying that he is going to cast his vote for Maduka. But in the real theme of the story begins when Roof entered the voting booth to cast his vote. So has promised on I, saying that he is going to cast his vote for Maduka. If he is not going to cast his vote for Maduka, let the god punish me. This is what he has told. Now during the time of the election, the day of the election, you can see the both parties there, and the Marcus EB comes in his green car with the music, band and the people dancing, enjoying the music. Everything happens. One of the person before the election, he just comes and says congratulations to Marcus EB, and by looking into that, there were other many people comes and says congratulations. And on the other side, near the electoral booth, 200 meters away, you can see both the parties standing on either of the sides, saying the people who were coming, cast your vote for POP or for PAP. And there were few uneducated people who were coming. For them, they were saying, this is the symbol. The symbol of Marcus Ebe was motor car, and the symbol of Maduka, it was man's head. They were just screaming and asking the people to vote for their party. Now, the time has come for the campaigning team people to cast their vote. Marcus Ebe tell Roof to cast his vote first. He was in a dilemma of to his loyalty or to Marcus and the rest from the IE of Mabanta. A thought come to him and he takes the paper into two, cast one for Maduka with a verbal announcement that he voted for Maduka and the other for Marcus, and comes out relieved. So here he enters into the electoral booth and the police over there shouts at Roof, what is the man doing inside the electoral booth for a long time? Suddenly an idea triggers him because he wants to save himself. He has promised on the god. He takes the ballot paper into two pieces and put the first half into Maduka's box as he has promised, and taken 5 pounds, saying that he will cast his first vote for Maduka. He put the first half into Maduka's box and the second half into Marcus. So here, only he knows what has happened inside the electoral booth. When he comes out with the purple ink on his finger, and when the campaigning team of Maduka asks for whom you have voted, he just says for Maduka, and he says the same thing for Marcus Ebe. I have casted my vote for Marcus Ebe. But here, what he has done, once the ballot paper is torn into two pieces, it is not valued. They will not take into consideration. It will be invalued vote. So, at last, Roof is safe from both the sides, taking the amount and leaves, and he is settled now. Now, let's see the weightage of this chapter. From this chapter, you have 1 mark and 4 marks. Sometimes they might ask for 6 marks also. Let's see the 1 mark question answers. How had Roof spent 2 years in Port Harcourt? He spent his 2 years as a bicycle repair apprentice. What was the full name of Roof? Rufus? Okay. Name the village of Roof. It is Umofia. Who is the chief of PAP? Marcus Ebe. PAP, People's Alliance Party. What was Marcus Ebe before entering into politics? He was a school teacher. How much money had Marcus Ebe drawn in advance for election? He drawn his 5 months' salary in advance. How much did Roof's friend place on the floor the previous night of the election? That is from the opposition party. He placed 5 pounds. Who had formed the POP, that is Progressive Organization Party? It was formed by the tribes. What does PAP and POP stands for? PAP stands for People's Alliance Party and POP stands for Progressive Organization Party. What was the symbol of the PAP, that is Marcus Ebe? It is motor car. Who was the leader of POP? Maduka. What was the symbol of POP? That is Maduka, man's head. How long had Roof been a bicycle repair apprentice? He was there for 2 years. Now, let's see the 4-mark question answers. Go cast your paper for the enemy if you like. Describe the situation Roof faced to say like this. Roof had to agree to the words said by Enzwa. He told Roof that they would cast their vote for Marcus and even their wives too. But that 2 shillings was shameful as Marcus was not a poor man. But he was a great man doing great things like a great man. They had not asked him for money earlier, but they had climbed the Iroko tree that day and would be foolish not to take down all the firewood they needed. Even Roof had lately been taking down a lot of firewood himself. He got rich ropes and 5 bottles of beer from Marcus. He had also won a land case on disputed site. He told the elders that it was not fair to quarrel about small things. He gave 2 shillings to each man. That is, he put 2 shillings on the floor in front of them. The men were not satisfied. Then Roof said with the defense that they should go to cast their vote for the enemy if they liked. The elderly had quickly calmed him down and cordial speech. So here, when he says you can go cast your vote, what the elderly members do in the sense, they just try to calm Roof, take the amount whatever he had given and says that they are going to cast their vote for Marcus Ebe. Next question. Roof is a clever manipulator. Justify. This question might be asked for 4 marks as well as 6 marks. Roof was okay. Roof was shot in the service of Marcus Ebe, Honorable Minister for the upcoming election. He was a real expert in election campaigning at all levels, that is, village, local or the national level. He could read the mood and the temper of the electorate at any given time. He had warned the minister months ago about the change that they had come into the thinking of Umofia since the last election. Chief Honorable Marcus had drawn 5 months' salary in advance and armed his campaigning boys with equivalent little jute bags. In the day, he made speeches. At night, his stalwarts conducted their whispering campaign. Roof was the most trusted of these campaigners. He had received a strange visit from the leader of the Progressive Organization Party campaigning team. His visit was cold and business-like, although he was well known to Roof. The leader offered £5 on behalf of PAP and said that we want your vote. Roof swore that he would vote for Maduka, if not, that I would take a note. It means to say that let the God punish me. On the day of the election, Roof pretended that nothing had happened. He was caught in a fix while he was voting in the booth. Even after the electoral officer had explained him about the 2 boxes, one to vote for Marcus and the other for Maduka, he felt that a single vote cast for Maduka in secret could not take away Marcus' certain victory. He folded the ballot paper issued to him, tore into 2 halves at the crease and put 1 half in each box. He had taken the precaution of putting the first half into Maduka's box, confirm his action of voting in favor of him. Thus, he kept his words for having accepted £5. The thumb was indelible purple ink to prevent his return, and he went out of the booth as jolty and he had gone in. So he comes out with a purple ink on his finger saying that he has casted his vote. For Marcus, he says that I have casted my vote for you, and for Maduka, he says I have casted his vote for Maduka. But only he knows what is the mistake, what he has done inside the electoral booth. Once it is torn into two pieces, it is not valued. So the next question, the third question. The author ridiculously the power and selfishness of Marcus eBay explain. Marcus eBay was an average mission school teacher and he entered into politics, had come to their village. He entered into politics by chance to avoid the problem with a female teacher. He gained power and grew wealthy. He became the chief, the honorable. He had two long cars and had just built himself a palatial house. He possessed all facilities that he promised to the villagers. He knew the source of his good fortune. He and his stalwarts conducted the whispering campaigns at night with the intention to win the election. He bribed voters and entertained his village people on the opening day of his house by slaughtering 5 bulls and countless goats. He aspired to win second time by a landslide victory. He offered false and illusionary dreams to voters like running water and electricity. This ridicules the power and selfishness of Marcus eBay. So, before the election, he just goes to the people campaigning saying that he promises them by supplying the electricity and the water. But later, once he is elected, he is not at all turning towards the people and he has not done anything for them. So the people were thinking to change their candidate for the next upcoming election. So this was all about the chapter, The Author. In my next revision class, I'll be revising the chapter Where There Is a Wheel. Have a good day. Thank you.